On Saturday, October 3rd, 2009, members of the Supreme Master Ching Hai International Association, All Vegans, in Hong Kong organized a climate change conference to inspire the public to join hands to save our planet. The gathering featured lectures by prominent scientists and other speakers from China, Hong Kong, and Taiwan or Formosa, as well as representatives of government, media, and non-profit organizations. The talks reviewed evidence of global warming as well as the swine flu pandemic and proposed solutions. Supreme Master Ching Hai, vegan, accepted the invitation as the honored guest and graciously lent her presence to respond to questions from the audience. Her thoughts deeply reflected the event's theme, global unity, together in saving lives. We now invite you to join us for Part 7 of the conference titled Global Unity, Together in Saving Lives, held on October 3rd, 2009 in Hong Kong.
The most powerful daily prayer for any time and before meditation, which is the order from God, and Supreme Master Ching Hai shares with us by His blessed grace.
We humbly worship, praise, thank, obey, and love God Almighty, the Most High, the greatest, for world vegan, world peace, and our soul liberation. We thank, love, praise the only Son of God, who is the ultimate Master for our salvation. We follow the teaching of all the saints and sages. We thank, love, and praise them, who are the representatives of God for our spiritual elevation.
Can't do it! Sleepyhead.
Freddy, time to get up. It's time to get up, Freddy.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, we are privileged and grateful to have our most honorable guest, Supreme Master Ching Hai, accept the invitation to join the conference. Supreme Master Ching Hai is highly esteemed invited speaker at many climate change seminars and conferences around the world. Please join us now to watch a special documentary about Supreme Master Ching Hai.
Supreme Master Ching Hai, vegan, is a world-renowned spiritual teacher, humanitarian, and artist. She has been invited to lecture on the Kuan Yin method of meditation throughout the world. We now invite you to view Walk the Way of Love, an introduction to Supreme Master Ching Hai.
We'll search high and low for a little love to bestow on all beings in all corners of existence. Supreme Master Ching Hai, vegan.
Supreme Master Ching Hai, as she has affectionately become known, lives a message that walks the way of love. A renowned humanitarian, artist, and spiritual visionary, her love and assistance has extended beyond all cultural and racial boundaries to people around the world: the needy and homeless, institutions of medical research, war veterans, the disadvantaged, the physically and mentally handicapped, refugees, and victims of natural disasters, etc. We witness countless reminders of the compassion, the trademark of this caring lady, and the international foundation that has grown out of her loving example.
Whatever we can share, begin with sharing. And then we will feel a subtle change in ourselves. More love will be pouring into our consciousness, and we will be aware of something. And that is a beginning. We are here to learn to grow, as well as to learn to use our power, our limitless power of love and creativity, in order to make a better world wherever we happen to be incarnated. Don't worry, I pray for you, okay, honey?
Not only are human beings the blessed beneficiaries of her kindness, animal people from different species are also the recipients of her boundless benevolence.
You okay, boy? You okay? Yeah, go, baby. Hey, look at you. Oh, quack. You happy? Quack. Hello, you grow so big now, you. Bon appetito. I love you. Good appetite. This is one of the reasons why we should be vegan. Love for all beings, extending love.
Supreme Master Ching Hai, vegan, was born in Central Olac, or Vietnam. During her early years, she was often found helping hospital patients, the needy, as well as injured animal people in whichever way she could. As a young adult, she moved to Europe to study and continued there as a translator for the Red Cross. She soon discovered that pain and suffering exist in all corners of the globe, and her search for the remedy to this became the foremost goal in her life. She was happily married at the time to a German doctor, and although it was an extremely difficult decision for both of them, her husband agreed to a separation. She then embarked on what became a 2-year-plus journey in search for spiritual understanding. Finally, in the deepest reaches of the Himalayas in India, she found an enlightened master who imparted to her the Kuan Yin method, a meditation method on the inner heavenly light and sound. After a period of practice, she became fully enlightened. Soon after her return from the Himalayas, at the earnest request of those around her, Supreme Master Ching Hai shared the Kuan Yin method with others, encouraging them to look within to find their own greatness. Through the Kuan Yin method of meditation, they also attained greater fulfillment, happiness, and peace. Before long, invitations arrived from the United States, etc.,
I saw that I was everywhere and in every creature.
Europe,
To see God is very, very simple.
Asia,
All religions tell you be a good person here and find heaven while you can.
Australia,
We are the sons and daughters of God. We are ourselves the Supreme Master.
Africa,
I will show you how to get direct teaching.
and South America,
And keep the commandments and try to lead a more vegan life.
as well as from important organizations for Supreme Master Ching Hai to give lectures.
The peace and love that we most often talk about and seek, we have within ourselves.
You must look inside and find your own treasure and find the real lasting happiness. The future is in our hands. So you make it beautiful or you make it worse. It's up to you.
Supreme Master Ching Hai has realized many spontaneous talents that she expresses through artistic paintings and creations, music and poetry, and aesthetic jewelry and clothing designs, expressing the inner and outer beauty. The income generated from her artistic creations has enabled Supreme Master Ching Hai to create an independent source of funding for humanitarian activities in support of her noble mission of assisting God's children in their times of need. Although she does not seek acknowledgement of any kind, Supreme Master Ching Hai has been given awards worldwide by government officials and private organizations on numerous occasions. They include the World Peace Award, the World Spiritual Leadership Award, the Award for Promotion of Human Rights, the World Citizen Humanitarian Award, the Award for Outstanding Public Service to Mankind, the 2006 Gusi Peace Prize, the Los Angeles Music Week Certificate of Commendation, and first place silver for the 27th Annual Telly Awards 2006. In addition, October 25th and February 22nd have been proclaimed as the Supreme Master Ching Hai Day in the United States.
She also brings love around the world where there is hate. She brings hope where there is despair. And she brings understanding where there is misunderstanding. She is the light of a great person, an angel of mercy for all of us.
Agradecer a la Suprema Maestra su liderazgo, agradecerle su optimismo, agradecerle ese don de gente que tiene que la hace tan única y tan especial.
Una impresión muy grata de ver un corazón tan noble, tan dispuesto a servir. Ella está sirviendo a todos los seres humanos, está sirviendo al planeta para salvarlo, para rescatarlo. Tiene un corazón noble, pero también un gran liderazgo. Sé que van a suceder las cosas que tienen que suceder.
Supreme Master Ching Hai is one of the truly dedicated people of this era, helping others find and create a beautiful vision of our future. Many great people in history have had a dream, and in her own words, so does Supreme Master Ching Hai.
I dream that all the world will become peaceful. I dream that everyone becomes the Buddha. I dream that all the killing will stop. I dream that all the children will walk in peace and harmony. I dream that all the nations shake hands with each other, protect each other, and help each other. I dream that our beautiful planet will not be destroyed. It takes billions, trillions of years to produce this planet. And it's so beautiful, so wonderful. I dream that it will continue, but in peace, beauty, and love.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a warm round of applause to welcome our most honorable guest, Supreme Master Ching Hai.
Hello, Master.
Hello, Master.
How are you?
Hello.
Wow.
Đại ca hảo. Đại ca hảo.
Thank you, Master, for your time with us. And Master, first, we would like to greet you Happy Moon Festival.
Oh,
Festival.
Happy Moon Festival.
多謝多謝 Thank you.
Welcome back to Hong Kong.
你好靚
Thank you, Master. And you too, you are very beautiful.
Happy Moon Festival to everyone.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, thank you.
And happy China Day. 2 days late, but still happy China Day. 60 years China Day. Happy China.
We are very happy and touched to have you here today with us. And Hong Kong miss you, we miss you.
I miss Hong Kong too. I used to like it very much because we have a beautiful mountain. And we can do retreat there. Yes, just about 10 minutes from the city, but beautiful. I miss that time very much. Beautiful Hong Kong. Thanks for having me back.
Thank you, Master.
Thank you. Supreme Master Ching Hai, thank you once again for your unconditional love and kindness for sharing your time. Master, our distinguished speakers have presented their knowledge and views on the current crisis of the planet. In addition, we have also a diverse group of distinguished guests representing many areas of society, including head of government, experts from fields of medical science, science and technology, education, religion, journalism, arts, and others. They are gathering here in a vital discussion about global warming and its solution.
Yeah.
Supreme Master Ching Hai, we would be very grateful if you can share with us your thoughts and views on global warming.
Yes, thank you. I have been listening to our distinguished speakers, and I was very, very impressed by all their wise knowledge and very educational and helpful advice to us and the global viewers. I thank them very much, very much. And of course, I'm very honored also to be invited here with you to this conference with the many respected government leaders, media members, NGO representatives, wise professors, and other distinguished speakers as mentioned today, as well as the caring audience members who spare their precious time in their busy life to come and to share their caring worries about our planet. Now, we have listened to many important speeches about the current effects of climate change on wildlife, on human health, and on the oceans even. So the sense of urgency can truly be felt from these eloquent presentations. While hearing them, the wish would grow stronger in our hearts for a saved planet and for saved lives. Hong Kong has long enjoyed prosperity and peace, both as the pride of China and as an internationally admired city. But as with all cities and countries in the world, she is vulnerable to the effects of global warming, such as the threat of sea level rise, and as we have learned from the experts today, diseases are intensifying as well. In such an increasingly frightening scenario, we are lucky and blessed to still have the time to save our lives and the lives of our children and our co-inhabitants. So I'm still hopeful that this important conference today will motivate everyone to make the small changes needed to propel us all toward a beautiful future for ourselves and the planet. Thank you. Please be a hero. Be veg, go green. Do good deeds and save the planet. Thank you so much. God bless Hong Kong.
Thank you. Thank you, Master.
Thank you.
Now, Master, we have our honorable guest, Mr. Bobsey. Mr. Bobsey is a vegan and is a shining world hero laureate for being the founder of Save the Human campaign. Yes, and some of our guests would like to have your opinions and advice to their questions. And now, Mr. Bobsey is our first guest who would like to put you one question. Thank you, Master.
Welcome, Bobsey.
Thank you, Master.
Nice to know you, Bobsey.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you. Master, in your website, you are urging us and telling us that we have just over 3 years left to save the planet. Could you please explain why you have specifically stated this number of years? Thank you.
Yes, Bobsey.
You see, since you ask, I have to tell you the truth. It's my inner knowledge through meditation. But that I cannot prove to you. Nevertheless, all the scientific data as well as evidence all point to this approximate number. And the evidence is already there and available. As you said, today, more or less, there are only 3 years left to save the planet from running global warming, from destruction, by all the world's population becoming vegan. That is a small change and a small sacrifice that we all could afford to make and should make for the sake of ourselves and the future generations.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you. Master, in your website, you are urging us and telling us that we have just over 3 years left to save the planet. Could you please explain why you have specifically stated this number of years? Thank you.
Yes, Bobsy. You see, since you asked, I have to tell you the truth. It's my inner knowledge through meditation. But that I cannot prove to you. Nevertheless, all the scientific data as well as evidence all point to this approximate number. And the evidence is already there and available. As you said, today, more or less 3 years left to save the planet from running global warming, from destruction, by all the world's population becoming vegan. That is a small change and a small sacrifice that we all could afford to make and should make for the sake of ourselves and the future generations. A very small change, I think, a very affordable change and very reasonable. But whether people will become vegan like yourself or not, whether the world will save itself or not, it all depends on humans' actions. But the countdown is there to remind us that we have a very short time, just a little over 3 years, for every single person to be veg to save life on Earth. We have to save this planet for our children. They are too innocent to deserve the destruction that is awaiting them. They're too vulnerable. They're helpless. They depend on us, the adults, the wise grown-ups, to lead them in the right direction, to protect them, and to save their lives. We have inherited a beautiful planet. It is our duty to keep it that way for our children and grandchildren and great-great-grandchildren later on. We have a duty to protect the home for the children. Even if we don't care about our life on Earth, we have no right
to destroy it for others. I hope the countdown helps people to feel the urgency and join the solution. So I appreciate you, Mr. Bobsy, for your own veg promoting efforts with your slogan, Save the Human campaign. It is fittingly named. We must save the human and human compassionate hearts. That is the most important. We have to save our noble quality. Again and again, I always mention, it's not just about the physical existence on this planet that we want to save, but we want to protect the children. And by doing that, we protect our noble self, our heroic, compassionate self, which is our true nature. If we lose them, it's worse than losing the planet. We have to keep our compassionate hearts. We have to be noble and truthful, loving and protective of the weak and the feeble, like children and the helpless, defenseless animal people. We must protect our noble nature. We must be a living, walking, breathing children of God, or the disciples of the Buddhas. Thanks again for your efforts, Bobsy. And thanks for reminding us.
Thank you.
By your question. God bless.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Master. Thank you for an important message.
You're
We will
welcome.
keep your advice in our heart and work hard, try all our best to work hard to do together and to stop the global warming. Thank you. Thank you, Master, and thank you, Bobsy, for your good question.
Thank you.
Welcome.
And now we have our next honorable guest, Dr. Lawrence Lau. He is a health care consultant.
Hello, Master.
Hello, Dr. Lau.
I'm honored to be invited here and glad to see you in person. I appreciate the effort you have and the organization made leading the head in helping the world, this global warming, which is becoming more and more serious. And in fact, there are more people who have died from meat eating, died from drug addictions, alcohol, than people who die in war. Then, if most people become vegetarians, do you think there would be improvement? And also, if most people become vegetarians, how would that help economically, spiritually, culturally, and scientifically? I appreciate your answering these 4 aspects. Thank you.
Good question, Dr. Lau. Thank you for your kind words about our humble group. If we have accomplished anything at all, I feel it's just a duty to contribute our part, as small as it may be, as concerned world citizens. In Vietnam, we have a saying that when your country is in trouble, even a fool has a responsibility to protect it. Quốc gia hưng vong, thất phu hữu trách. Meaning, even though we don't have all the knowledge or the scientific means to help the planet in the way we would have liked to do, even though our group is not very significantly strong in numbers, we still have to do our best, just like everyone else. Because if everybody does their part, then the power together is strong. It's like we say, one tree cannot do much, but many trees make a forest. Yes. So we are doing our part, and we are hoping and reminding and pleading with everyone to do their part, because we are all here together.
I am one of you. And it's a very beautiful planet. And I wish it will still be there for the children, for future generations to come. Of course, if the majority of the world's people become vegan, organic vegan would be best for our world. Then there would be a tremendous improvement in all aspects. First, as you imply, Dr. Lau, millions of people who would otherwise be gone because of these killer substances that you mentioned will be alive. Economically, that means hundreds of billions in healthcare costs are saved. Millions of family members and children will be secure and provided for, and be protected from the heartache of losing their loved ones due to poisonous substances in animal, people, meat, alcohol, drugs, tobacco. Billions of tax dollars and government time and energy to fight drugs, tobacco, alcohol, and to give animal, people, meat subsidies are saved also. Billions of dollars in lost productivity for companies are saved too. Productivity will go up, even much higher if people aren't crippled by these killers. Culturally, without meat, alcohol, drugs, and tobacco, of course we would be happier, healthier, because loved ones will be around longer. We will be around longer for them, and they will be around longer for us as families. It would be better for the communities, for their countries. Not only will we be healthier, we will feel different, more loving, more caring, more alive, more carefree as well. Because we are no longer burdened physically in our conscience and in our heart by these oppressive, addictive substances. We will also think differently as a society. More clarity and wisdom will be flowing into our minds so that we would know of better ways to run our society and live our lives. Ask anyone who has turned around to forsake meat, forsake drugs, forsake alcohol, forsake tobacco. You ask any of them how they felt before and how they feel after. They will tell you a huge improvement in all aspects of their lives. And they will tell you that they're so glad that they quit the bad habit. And they will tell you how happier they feel, how light-hearted, how more intelligent, how more productive and constructive they are to themselves, to their family, society, and the world at large. Spiritually, we will have more awareness, more love in abundance. In our hearts, we will feel a world of difference. Ask anyone who has quit these harmful substances, they will tell you the same. Even without practicing any religious faith or any yoga, they feel a world of difference already. And of course, if we practice meditation or yoga, then of course we feel even much better than that. Calmer, yes, more loving, more attentive, more concentrated in whatever we do. Thus, our productivity will be enhanced and we will be contributing more to society. Thus, if everyone forsakes these harmful substances,
we will be creating a powerful, positive, loving, and harmonious energy that is constructive and beneficial to all on earth in all aspects. And with this energy, we will be able to counter and defeat the dark, menacing, dangerous energy that is trying to suffocate us and trying to destroy our only home, our beloved planet, for our children. If all become vegans, organic vegan will be better. We will be much more easily elevated inside spiritually without these toxins as obstacles in our lives. And as a result, scientific changes will manifest as well in the form of incredible, fantastic new inventions that improve the quality of life for people on Earth. Our scientific and technological understanding will also go beyond Earth because with an elevated, compassionate atmosphere, we can even communicate with other, more advanced planet people and learn from them, exchange with them our knowledge and their knowledge. And of course, the environment will be restored to a wholesome state. Once animal, people, meat, alcohol, drugs, and tobacco are eliminated, the changes and improvements will be so far-reaching and so wonderful. It will be like a great leap in our evolution. We should pray for this day to come soon. Dr. Lau, thank you. God bless you.
Thank you, Master. I'm sure many more people will become vegan day by day. And thank you, Dr. Lau, for your great concern for others. Thank you very much.
Our next honorable guest is Mr. Feng Qi Wu, who is a Christian priest and is vegetarian. Pastor Feng, please.
Welcome, Father. How are you? How are you,
Fine,
Father?
Thank you very much. 你曾經開示過咧，金星、火星咧，以前都好似地球一樣咧，面臨咧係暖化問題嘅。但因為佢哋咧冇即時咧去拯救，導致到而家咧一片嘅荒蕪死寂。咁我哋地球人咧而家係面對同樣嘅嚴重嘅暖化問題。如果我哋咧唔去同心協力，全球一致咁面對呢個問題，咁唔知我哋會唔會好似咧變成咧下一個金星同埋火星啦？唔該。
Thank you, Father, for this very, very important question. Thank you for being with us and being such a loving, concerned reverend like you are. Yes, Reverend Feng, I'm afraid that is correct. According to planetary scientists, Mars and Venus were probably like planet Earth at an earlier time. They had a comfortable atmosphere, warmer temperatures, oceans, and lots of water. There's evidence that both of them experienced extreme climate changes. Thus today we see that Mars' surface looks like there had been oceans, mountains, and rivers carved into them, even though there is hardly any living atmosphere left. And Venus today looks like it accumulated too many destructive elements due to a runaway greenhouse gas effect. The gases are still trapped on Venus at unbearable temperatures that no being could possibly inhabit it. Well, no physical beings. But I do know that there are unpleasant, invisible beings who live on Venus right now. We would not want to go there. We would not even want to know them. They are very, very unpleasant beings. Their nature and behavior are far too vicious for us humans to feel comfortable in contact with them. So even based on studies of other planets' cases of climate change, We talk about scientific evidence now. Astronomers are worried that our planet Earth might become like either Mars or Venus. Dr. David Greenspoon, who is one of the scientists working on the Venus Express project with the European Space Agency, even said that we should learn from the examples of these other planets to get smarter and not take it for granted that our Earth has had a stable, livable atmosphere in comparison, and that it will last forever if we don't take care of it. Now, the scientists also say it is possible that there was once life on Mars and Venus. Through meditation and inner knowledge, and also through the knowledge of higher planetary beings, I have been able to contact the people on Mars. Their ancestors were the survivors of the global warming catastrophe. They kindly gave us permission to share their sad past experience and painful lesson with the Earth people. That it was their animal people, meat diet, their other unpleasant habit, their livestock production that emitted too much hot and poisonous gas, which triggered the release of other greenhouse gases from huge stores under the soil and ocean. Venus experienced a similar fate as well. The people killed animal people for food and lacked compassion. So their extreme, unkind activities led to their climate crisis. Once the store of their good merit ran out. So tragically, the vast majority of people on Mars and all the people on Venus perished within a short time, along with the animal people and plant life. Very sad history. Our planet is also facing a similar fate very soon. I'm afraid to say that, but I have to. If we don't stop the animal people, meat production and consumption, we will face similar situation like Mars or Venus. At present, there is a risk that the current gases will trigger much more gases in massive quantities that we might not be able to stop anymore if we don't start now. Time is running out. There are massive quantities of gases, poisonous and explosive, such as under the permafrost. Well, it already happened on many parts of the Earth, as you might be well aware through the media or scientific reports. Now, the gas released then causes more warming, which causes even more gas to be released. This is like a vicious circle. They even call this vicious feedback cycle a climate time bomb. It happened on Mars and Venus. I pray it won't happen to Earth. I pray day and night to our Almighty Father, to the Buddhas in all directions, to all the divine beings, to please help us to awaken all the people on the planet in time, to realize the danger that we are in, to realize that we are truly running out of time. We are running out of time. We must wake up soon. We must make a small sacrifice and changes. I'm hopeful. I'm having a positive feeling that it won't happen to us, but we all must work. We cannot sit there and wait for miracles to happen. God needs us to represent Him in compassion and merciful heart in the way we live a godly life, befitting God's children. If we all become vegan and live a virtuous, compassionate life, it won't happen. It's still not too late. It's still hopeful. Our planet will not follow this fate of Mars and Venus, and instead will be saved and thriving in every corner. Please help us, Father. Please, Father Fong, you have the power also to know many people and help us and all the people on the planet. Please pray with us and help us to spread the urgent message to be vegan so that lives will be spared and the precious earth will regain her balance and our godlike nature will be preserved forever and pleasing to heaven. Thank you, Father, for being with us. Thank you for your blessing.
Thank you, Master.
Thank you, Master. Thank you, Pastor. So, with our effort, we hope we will not see the climate time bomb on Earth.
Master, we have now a 7-year-old little girl, Andrea Au, who would like to ask you some questions.
Wow.
Miss Andrea Au?
Welcome.
Master Ching Hai.
Hello.
I am an environmental advocator.
Wow.
I always work with my mom to save electricity at home and like to do recycling in my daily life. As I know that the planet Earth was sick with too many human activities, and I want to make my home the only home comfort, so that we can continue to live happily and harmoniously day by day. Dear Master, some people say that the food which is good for Earth is definitely good for human beings, because human beings and nature are one as a whole. Could you tell us more on this?
Wow, good girl. Good girl, Andrea. Good girl. Good example. I'm counting on you to save the planet. You and your mom. Thanks a lot for helping. And by the way, 你好亮. You're beautiful. You are so smart and pretty. Thanks for your intelligent question. What you said is perfectly correct. The food we eat that is most harmonious with Mother Nature is also good for human health and spirit, because all of us are one, are connected. Being one with nature simply means that if we see a friend suffer, we would also feel sad. If we hurt our animal friends, we will feel sorry and suffer. Even sometimes we are not aware of the suffering, but it will come nevertheless. That's why all the wise teachers of the past told us not to hurt others if we don't want to be hurt. Like Confucius said, do not do to others what we do not wish to be done to ourselves. What kind of food is best for the environment and best for humans? It's the organic vegan diet. Organic because we don't want harmful chemicals to be sprayed everywhere and running into our water, poisoning the river, the soil, and all living things, making humans sick as well. Similarly, we don't want to kill or harm our animal friends, so we should choose vegan food. This means no animal people, meat or dairy products, so that no animal has to die or feel pain for us to live is not necessary at all. We have abundant food and nutrition from the vegetable kingdom. Also organic because this practice will absorb huge amounts of CO2 already existing in the air, thus cooling our planet. Also eating animal people. Meat causes a lot of pollution to Mother Earth. This is from a United Nations report. The livestock sector emerges as one of the top 2 or 3 most significant contributors to the most serious environmental problems at every scale, from local to global. Recently, the scientists have reported, well, it's not in print yet, but they have told us on the Supreme Master television as well, that animal people, meat diet contributes to 60% of greenhouse gases, which is very dangerous for our planet's survival. Now, if we multiply the animal people so much and continuously, their waste alone creates huge mountains of pollution as well. For example, one animal farm with 5,000 pig people produces the same amount of waste as one whole town of 20,000 people. Imagine that, Andrea? One dairy cow farm with 2,500 cows produces as much waste as an entire city of 411,000 people. So we may wonder, where does all this waste go? The problem is their bacteria-filled waste is almost never treated and is too much for the land to absorb, so it runs into our drinking water. It pollutes the air, and it contaminates food crops with deadly bacteria like E. coli and Salmonella. That's why you heard recently that even tomatoes, the harmless fruit that we make salad with, were even contaminated with bacteria. So this makes animal people products a killer of life on our planet. The best food, therefore, is the cruelty-free, eco-friendly, loving, organic vegan diet. Thank you, Andrea, for caring about the earth at your tender age. I'm very proud of you. Now, if you add to that an organic vegan diet, you would really be a heroine of the planet, saving lives and making a shining example, and a best friend of the animal people, which you love so much. Thank you. God bless you and your mom.
Thank you. Thank you, Master. And thank you, our lovely Angelia. And in fact, Angelia is a 7-year-old little girl, but she knows many, many languages.
Wow.
And she's a very smart little girl. Yes. I think she knows Spanish. Is that so? Yeah, good. Very good. Very smart little girl.
Sí, hao liang.
Yes.
Our next honorable guest is Mrs. Rosina Marita Arcrati. She is a vegetarian and animal communicator and founder of Animal Talk.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I'm actually vegan.
Vegan. Welcome. Welcome.
Yes. You cannot talk to animals and kill them or make them suffer. So you have to be all round.
Right.
My one question to you, Master, is very simple. Human slavery was abolished over 150 years ago. How can we end animal slavery now?
Yes, madam. I ask the same question time again. By the way, for the audience there, just a little explanation. When Madame Maria say that she's a vegan instead of vegetarian, there is a little difference. I did not know the difference before. I thought vegetarian is vegetarian. But actually many people made vegetarian into a non-pure vegetarian diet. Like some people would say they are vegetarian, but they say they eat chicken, only chicken. And some people say they are vegetarian, but they eat eggs. And some people say they are vegetarian, but they drink milk, eat cheese or honey or something like that, and wear leather stuff. The vegan people are the purest vegetarians. They don't use any animal products. They don't even take honey. And they don't take milk. They don't have dairy products, any animal traces at all. in their diet. And that is the difference. That's why Madame Maria said that I'm a vegan instead of a vegetarian. Understood now? The difference? Yes. Yeah. So smart. So smart. Now, to answer your question, Madam, it is, you're right, a form of slavery, isn't it? Our treatment, our horrible treatment of our fellow beings, the harmless, defenseless, innocent animals. It is heartbreaking to think about it. Today, we treat countless animal beings in much the same way and even worse, because they all face the cruelty of massacre and death. At least not all slaves have to be confined in such small cages that the animal people could not even turn around all their entire short, miserable, suffering, tormented life. So animal factories is beyond slavery, madam. It's a death row sentence marked since birth. Entire species of beings are seen as inferior and labeled as objects for buying, selling, torturing, breeding, abusing, and murdering at the end, in such a cruel way that make us humans the cruelest beings on the planet. And we should not be in that level because we are human beings. We are human beings. We should be humane. We should have compassion, love, and feelings for others, just as if it were ourselves. Put ourselves in the position of the animal people, then we know what we're talking about. Their God-given lives do not belong to themselves, but to the so-called owner and ultimately to the consumer. And we helped to create their misery. All of us, or most of us, until we awaken somehow by some good friend, some good situation, some urgent call somewhere. And then our merciful heart wake up, saying to ourselves, oh no, this is not right. This is not correct. This is not the way I want it for our animals, for our co-inhabitants to be. That's not the way I want to treat the harmless, the innocent, the defenseless, the even benefactors to humans. The similarities that you mentioned about slavery are shocking. But worse still, worse than slavery, this is the most cruel practice that we humans never imagined that exists on our planet. Especially already 21st century, we had so many masters that graced our planet. Jesus Christ, Sakyamuni Buddha, Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, the Jain master, Mahavira, Guru Nanak, etc., etc. You name whatever religious leader and founder, they all taught us compassion and love. They all taught us to respect all beings as creations of God. So how can we end animal slavery? Well, we can look at history and study how human slavery was abolished. All it took was a change of perception, a change of heart. It's the same with animals. We must see them as the noble, precious, nobly endowed, feeling beings, as they really are, because they are. Some of their qualities we humans should even learn from. The loyalty of the dog, the selfless sacrifice of your pet when it comes to rescuing their family members or so-called owners. They would not mind their life. They would lay down their life gladly, anytime, for their loved ones. If you just remember when you look on television, there are some rescue scenes when we have a disaster, earthquake or something that destroys our home and many people buried under the rubble. Many dogs are sent from different countries or within the countries to go there to rescue the humans. They're walking, running, barefoot, and they run into every corner on broken glass, on heated stones, under dangerous conditions, just to try to find the humans who survived under the rubble. They did not even think for 1 second how dangerous the situation is, how their life could be terminated any second. They just concentrate on their mission to rescue human beings. Now, we humans sometimes think twice about that. I'm sorry if I have offended any of you. But dogs, for example, they never think. Never. They lay down their life any time for us. Now, if we humans think animals are inferior to us, I beg you to think again. We should respect them, love them, protect them, instead of thinking of them as inferior objects. Now, just 150 years ago, as you mentioned, Madam, human slavery was the norm. At that time, people thought that slavery was normal. So almost everybody owned a slave or two and treated them the way they wanted, even branded them with hot iron to make sure that everybody recognized they were privately owned slaves and not to be taken away or stolen or sold again. See, it was a normal thing to own a slave and to treat the slave as such, like an inferior object. Today, we are more civilized. Well, I think. Today, slavery is an atrocity. It's recognized internationally as a heinous crime. And the day will come when the same is true for animal slavery and massacring. But until we get there, we must be like the abolitionists and try to show others that animals are not here for us to abuse or to eat. They are here for their own purpose, designed by God, and deserve freedom, respect, and life, just like we do. Urge your government leaders to ban this cruel and harmful system as well. If we don't support slavery and want to get rid of it, we can start by getting rid of it in our own personal lives. If we don't support slavery, then we would choose no animal products at all. And if we don't support cruelty, then we will abolish all animal products from our lives. And if each one of us makes this humane choice to end the slavery in our own lives, then together we can abolish the entire cruel system that makes us less than human, that likens us to the so-called, we call them wild beasts, like the lion and the tiger. But the lion and the tiger, they eat when they're hungry only. We even eat for pleasure at the expense of the suffering, tortured, murdered animals. We call the lions and the tigers wild beasts because they are wild. They eat live animals. They chase, they hunt and eat live animals. Well, then we have to be different. If we want to call ourselves human, the children of God. Can you imagine? Would God do this? Would God come down here on earth and kill everything inside, from the sky to the deep ocean, just to feed himself? No. Would God do that? Yes or no?
No.
No.
Yes, if there is a God, would he do that?
No.
No.
Okay. No, thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. So, we are supposed to be the children of God, like Father, like Son, no?
Yes.
If there is a God that we believe in, or there's a Buddha that we believe would come down here, God would never kill any animals to eat. God would protect them, feed them, love them. Is that not so?
Yes.
Yes. That is the God that we imagine that we would worship and trust. What kind of God goes around and eats everything in sight? And we would also run away because of fear and terror. Now, if we are the children of God, the disciples of the Buddhas, then like Father, like Son, like Master, like disciples, we must do the same. We must represent a God that is merciful, compassionate, loving, kind, protective to the weak, the innocent, and the harmless. Not only the animals are harmless, they are very, very useful to us. They are blessings to the planet. They give the planet more love than we could emit. That's why our planet is still held in balance. Without the loving animals, our planet would probably have been gone long ago. The way we treat it, the way we treat ourselves, each other, other beings, and the environment, our planet would have been gone. Now, if we are the children of God, the disciples of the Buddhas, then like Father, like Son, like Master, like disciples, we must do the same. We must represent a God that is merciful, compassionate, loving, kind, protective to the weak, the innocent, and the harmless. Not only are the animal people harmless, they are very, very useful to us. They are blessings to the planet. They give the planet more love than we could emit. That's why our planet is still held in balance. Without the loving animals, our planet would probably have been gone long ago. The way we treat it, the way we treat ourselves, each other, other beings, and the environment, our planet would have been gone. But God is merciful. He sends more and more animals, different species, to come here to help to balance the negative atmosphere of our planet, to make it more loving, more bearable, so that it still hangs in balance. But now it's too much. It's too much for the animals to even help us with their loving, kind atmosphere. So please, we now have to stand up and help ourselves. It's high time that we should behave in a way that not liken us to the animals that we call wild beasts, like lions and tigers, for example. Now, the entire cruel system could be abolished for animals, just as we did 150 years ago, if we convince ourselves and others who are not informed yet, because human beings are born noble, loving, and kind. We have just been misled. We have just been misinformed. We have just been too busy to think. So if we inform ourselves of the cruel reality, very cruel reality, and be a shining example of compassion, be a vegan, then I'm sure we can make this tragic and needless practice disappear for good, abolished forever. And all beings will live in peace, harmony, happy, fearless of one another. Thank you so much, Madam.
Thank you. Thank you, Master. Thank you for your benevolent answer. Thank you, Mrs. Rosena Akrati.
And now we have our next honorable guest, Miss Peggy Poon. She is a system analyst and is also a vegetarian.
Welcome, Miss Peggy.
多謝青海無上師同埋大會俾機會俾我發問啦。咁我嘅問題就係話，素食救地球已經係刻不容緩嘅唯一解決嘅方法。咁但係我哋亦都需要兼顧嗰啲從事畜牧業啦、副食品啦同埋相關行業，好似運輸啊、批發啊、零售啊、餐廳或者消費場所既得嘅利益者。 咁呢啲衝擊同埋改變對佢哋嘅影響咧非常大嘅。咁即使政府願意放棄經濟考慮，但係有啲呢啲咁嘅從業員咧，對佢哋慣以為生嘅專長、投資啊同埋習慣，卻難以喺短時間裏邊適應同埋轉型嘅。咁請問無上師應該點樣可以令到佢哋重新出發，甘願改變呢？ Thank you。
多謝。Thank you for your question, and thanks for your consideration for others. That is true that we have to take into consideration those people who are in the businesses that you have mentioned, that how they would change their lives. But it's not difficult. First of all, we have to know that we have no choice but to change. We have no choice, either that or the planet. Either we change or we will all go. There's no choice anymore. If we don't stop the livestock rising and meat eating practice, we will not be able to save the planet, including them and their meat businesses. So I think we have to choose between our lives and a career. We have to survive first. We have to think of the planet people as a whole, not just some businesses. It is truly that urgent. Given this critical necessity, these people who are economically tied to the meat industry would be willing to change if they were properly informed and know how important it is to change their lifestyle and their career. They have many strong motivations. For example, the first is to save the planet from a climate catastrophe, save all lives in this world. If we don't stop it, we will continue on a course toward total disaster and mass extinction, affecting everyone, whether you are in the business of meat, transportation for it, or other related job of the meat industry or not. Second, the industry that we are talking about is a bad business. It's not lucrative at all for the whole planet, for everybody. See, it's a most inefficient business. In Chinese, we would say 亏本. 亏本. It means it's the loss of capital. Now, the meat industry is not a very lucrative business, with very high production costs for electricity, water, and grains that have to be wasted to produce the same amount of so-called food, which is replaceable. We have better food than meat. For example, madam, if the government didn't give any subsidies for the meat industry in any case, then a hamburger that some people eat, produced by clearing forests in India alone, would cost $200, not just 99 cents, like the way you would buy it in some shop, for example. You see, it would cost $200, the real cost of a hamburger. Now in the US, even before the swine flu impacted the pig raising business, the pig raising industry has been losing billions of dollars in the pig industry. Why? Because they cannot afford the grains to feed their livestock due to the high food prices. And the food prices are getting higher and higher nowadays. So, how do they survive? Your tax money goes to the government subsidizes them. That's how they survive. So it's a losing business. It's a 亏本 business in China, meaning losing capital business, meaning it's not a good business. Everywhere from the US to China, the governments have to subsidize animal farmers by paying them at least tens of billions of US dollars every year. Tens of billions of US dollars subsidies every year for meat industry. And where's the money from? Can you tell me? Where from the money? Taxpayer. Yeah, correct. You're so smart. Your money, your hard-earned money, from your daily sweating, tearing to earn that precious substance that we call money, to feed yourself, take care of your family, and protect your children and your relatives and friends. This money has been draining into the meat industry in order to keep them alive. And then when you buy some piece of meat, you think, oh, it's so cheap. A hamburger, 99 cents. My God. Then keep going to the hamburger shop. But that's your money that you're eating. These hamburgers contain all parts of the animals that you don't know where they even come from. And contain all kinds of bacteria, all kinds of diseases, breeding causes, that you will find information easily available if you want information from the medical journals or medical scientists. They will tell you all this. Not only do we pay a lot of tax money into the subsidies for the meat industry, we pay a lot more tax money for the hospitalization, for the burying of our loved ones, for the heartache that we have to bear a whole lifetime, for losing one of our dearest, or many of our dearest. And okay, life and death, we can't avoid. But the suffering in between, the hospitalization, the poking, picking, injecting, breathing machine, oxygen, supporter, etc., etc., all this suffering is unnecessary for our fragile body to bear. If we avoid meat, we will avoid all that. The money for hospital, medicine. And not only that, before we get the medicine, we make more animals suffer by experimenting with them, by vivisection, by injecting chemicals into their bodies, by making them suffer totally no end, just to obtain the medicine that we feel safe for human use. And again, it's still not safe for human use. All this suffering, all this tax money, paying again and again, and you working day and night to make ends meet, just to survive. And all this money goes into different directions. It doesn't help you at all. It's just wasting resources, finance, and national strength, and human health and happiness. It's just a waste. It's just a very, very, very bad business. So you see, the meat industry is terrible, terribly harmful to us in every imaginable situation, in any imaginable aspect. Now, if the subsidies are not going in to support them, the farmers of the animals raising industry could not make ends meet with their business. They would have gone out of business already. So I suggest the government don't give animal subsidies to animal raising industry. Instead, tell them to convert into vegan farmers. Now, besides all that, for the majority of the workers in the meat business, it's not a safe working place either. It's one of the most dangerous jobs, with some of the highest rates of injury and exposure to chemicals and diseases like influenza, swine flu, bird flu, etc., etc. And mad cow disease, which is always fatal, always deadly. Mad cow disease, up to now, we can't even cure it. Anybody contract mad cow disease, their life is terminated. Now we have to ask ourselves, is it all worth it? This is not to talk about
the effect on the meat consumers in terms of all the sicknesses, cancers, diabetes, and health problems, heart diseases. Almost all diseases that you can name come from the meat diet or related. So given a better choice for livelihood, wouldn't we choose the one that helps ourselves and others to stay healthy over a profession that makes people and ourselves sick and die young? Would you say yes or no?
Yes, yes.
Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you so much. I have suggested before that we should talk to the farmers of the animal raising industry, write to them, even go to them one by one if you can afford it, to try to show them that there are better alternatives, such as growing organic vegetables. Nowadays, organic food is very much in demand, very in. Many people turn into vegans now, and everybody knows organic vegetables are very healthy. You see, if you eat organic vegetables, you will hardly have to go to the hospital. And all the money we can save for better education for the children, better care for the elderly, and building more beautiful roads, and more equipment, inventions, and use them for more sustainable energy, for free for everybody. I have suggested before that we should talk to the farmers of the animal raising industry, write to them, even go to them one by one if you can afford it, to try to show them that there are better alternatives, such as growing organic vegetables. Nowadays, organic food is very much in demand, very in. Many people turn into vegans now, and everybody knows organic vegetables are very healthy. You see, if you eat organic vegetables, you will hardly have to go to the hospital. And all the money we can save for better education for the children, better care for the elderly, and building more beautiful roads, and more equipment, inventions, and use them for more sustainable energy, for free for everybody. Free energy for everybody, free education for all the children, free care for all the elderly, and free food for all the 1 billion at least hungry people in the world. The benefit has no ends. I can write 10,000 books about the benefits of a vegan diet and the harm of the animal people, meat industry. But I will let you do research a little bit, because you know all the good techniques nowadays with computer and information on the internet. You mentioned that we should also care about the people who have been in the animal people, meat industry, and that it might be difficult for them to change. It's not so. It's not so, Madam Hao Liang. There are many who are converting themselves into organic farmers right now. And in Ireland, the agriculture minister even wrote to all the farmers in Ireland to tell them to convert to organic farming, vegetable farming, and they subsidize them even. And right now, there's a huge percentage of farmers converting to organic farming. I'm so happy for Ireland. Now, some other example for your reference. There was one American pig people farmer who had owned many pig people, all crammed in a filthy livestock factory farm, after being visited by the famous vegan author John Robbins. You probably know him, the famous ice cream heir. And he left his father's business of ice cream, a multi-million-dollar business, in order to go into a vegan direction. So he visited this pig people factory farm. And then this farmer suddenly remembered that in his childhood, he truly loved one pig person as his close friend and companion. But he was forced to deny and forget this loving feeling due to the pressure from his family and society. You know, the tradition of business from the father. But after realizing it, he could no longer abuse the gentle pig people. One more second, he decided to quit.
So instead of raising pig people anymore, he bought a small organic farm and sells organic vegetables. And he's doing fine. He's still alive. Yeah. And his heart is more alive than ever, I guess. And by the way, as a side job, he brings his 10 pet pig people. He has 10. That's his pets that he kept from his old farm and visits schools now often to show the children how intelligent and friendly pig people really are. So the children will not eat the pig people, for example. Not only he doesn't raise pig people anymore, he goes in the opposite direction to protect the animal people. And there was a rancher, he's a Texan, you know, in Texas, they raise a lot of cow people. And that's where the word cowboys come from. He owned a big ranch of cow people. But then suddenly he changed because he had cancer from animal people meat. After he treated himself, became vegan, now he's an animal people rights advocate. He goes everywhere lecturing, telling people the truth, the real truth, the cruel truth, and the bad business truth about raising animal people. He's a very staunch advocate for animals now. Oh, his name is Howard Lyman, Lyman, yes. He's from Texas. He was one or twice guest speaker on Supreme Master Television. You can download them. They're still in the file to download if you want to know about him. And recently in Iran, there was a dairy cow person, farmer, who even wrote to us telling his story. He also decided that he needed to change his career to help the planet and his own conscience. So he made sure all his cow people were adopted to good, safe homes to live the rest of their dignified lives. And now he works at a vegan restaurant. And another story comes from Formosa, where a pig person farmer just became vegan after watching the Supreme Master Television and realizing that he wanted to protect the environment and avoid bad karmic retribution for himself and his family. So right now, do you know what he's doing? You don't know, huh? Okay, I tell you. He's keeping all his pig people as spoiled family member pets for life. And he's switching to a different kind of farming. In all these cases, the people involved are doing just fine, even better than ever before. But I suggest that all the people who keep their pigs or cows people as pets, I think we should sterilize them so that we don't continue to breed too many animal people, because then we would be in the same position right now, or even worse, if they keep multiplying. It took a great amount of courage in the beginning to change their whole life career around, but all of them would guarantee that it was worth it, more than worth it. It's worth the great freedom of their heart, their spirit, and happiness and health of their family as well. Nowadays, there are more and more good opportunities for the farmers, retailers, transporters. They just do the same. Instead of transporting pig people, they transport organic vegetables, etc. Or the farmer retailers, they could switch from the animal people meat business to organic vegetable farming. Returning to traditional organic farming methods is already proven by success in Africa, for example, and in some places like the Americas, Europe, and Australia. Organic vegan farming is growing very, very fast and is very, very profitable right now because there's a growing demand. People are more informed about the harm of the animal people meat and more informed about the benefits of the vegan diet. So organic vegan vegetable farming should be very, very, very good for anyone who wants to switch businesses. On Supreme Master Television, we also feature a whole section about organic farming on our website, suprememastertv.com. On this website, we share a lot of info about how to do organic farming, which is very profitable, costs less water, a lot less work, and it's very beneficial to our health, to the workers, and to the planet. So please feel free to take a look and discover for yourself the great benefits of harmonious farming. It's high time we turn away from the harmful, unsustainable animal people meat business and go toward a more civilized, more efficient, more sustainable, more humane means to earn a living, namely organic, vegan farming, or vegan restaurants, vegan products, vegan product selling, etc. Everything to do with compassionate living is good for you, and it's pleasing to heaven, and it will save the planet. It's not just good business, it will save the planet, and it will save countless lives now and in the future, including the ones involved in the animal people meat business. That's why the Buddha named the animal people meat business as one of the 5 businesses that people should not engage in. Do you want to know another 4 as well?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. The animal people meat business is a bad business. It's very bad for you. And the other 4 are a business in weapons, business in human trafficking, business in intoxicants, and business in poison. All these harmful businesses are bad for you now and in the future. If you believe in the life hereafter, if you believe in heaven and hell, you should stop the animal people meat business immediately, like yesterday. Because nothing good awaits you in the life after if you cause suffering to others, be it human or animal people. You will have multiple suffering in return, and for a long, long time. So instead, these people in the animal people meat industry should join the trend which has already begun and expands hugely every day, I'm happy to say. Thank you. Be vegan, go green, plant organic vegetables.
Thank you. Thank you, Master. Thank you, Master, for your insightful views on the benefits of vegan farming.
Well, thanks for the question. Thanks for the inspiring question.
And thank you, Ms. Poon, for this question.
Yeah, good question. Really inspiring.
Master, our next honorable guest is Mr. Chen Shu Yi. Mr. Chen Shu Yi is the executive chair of the HSBC Bank, managing cater for major of the HSBC Bank, including fine dining for the top management of Ming Building,
Wow.
a total 5 business unit of HSBC.
Wow, wow.
青海師傅你好，我有個問題，係你好，好多香港人咧都認為香港係一塊福地，到目前為止咧，似乎所有嘅災害，例如風災啊、雨災啊，都襲擊唔到香港，咁而且香港咧，亦都係非常熱心於即係慈善公益嘅，就認為咁樣咧就可以消災抵禍。我想請問師傅，咁樣嘅諗法係咪可以抵抗呢個氣候嘅改變咧？唔該。
Ni hao, chef. Wow, such a big chef. We are privileged that you are here today. Yes. Thank you. Thank you for your presence. I'm sure that what you say is true about the charitable quality of the Hong Kong people. I have known it myself when I was in Hong Kong many times, and sometimes for many, many months. I've noticed that Hong Kong people are very pious people, very charitable. Yes. Virtue and generosity of spirit certainly do have a positive effect on our life. At the same time, we should be aware that there are many levels of virtue and merit, and that the highest charity one can offer is the gift of life and freedom. So, especially at this critical time on our planet, what is needed is a more spiritual sense, is to let all beings live, meaning to stop killing on all levels. Chef Chan, I read that the government of Hong Kong mercifully abolished capital punishment over 15 years ago, in 1993. So now, the people of Hong Kong just need to extend their compassion to animal people who did not commit any crimes even. They are not criminals, the animal people. So we should abolish the death sentence for all animal people as well, and turn to the animal people meat-free vegan diet. This will offer true protection from the climate crisis, because the vegan diet does not harm sentient beings, and thus offers the highest merit, the highest reward of all, and therefore reduces the bad retribution significantly. Chef Chan, I read that the government of Hong Kong mercifully abolished capital punishment over 15 years ago, in 1993. So now, the people of Hong Kong just need to extend their compassion to animals who did not commit any crimes even. They are not criminals, the animal people. So we should abolish the death sentence for all animals as well, and turn to the meat-free vegan diet. This will offer true protection from the climate crisis, because the vegan diet does not harm sentient beings, and thus offers the highest merit, the highest reward of all, and therefore reduces the bad retribution significantly. Also, if you're Buddhist, you remember the Buddha say the first precept, the first thing a Buddhist should not do is not to kill. Also, through the daily practice of the spiritual principle known as ahimsa, or non-violence, charity is naturally cultivated in one's heart. Even if you do not feel that Hong Kong needs this level of virtue, Chef Chan, I'm sure you already know that a disease such as swine flu doesn't spare anyone, which has severely affected the Hong Kong people, also comes from animal killing. And in terms of global warming, 70% of drinking water for Hong Kong comes from the Dong River. 70% of drinking water for Hong Kong is from the Dong River, which in turn is ultimately fed by glaciers. Tens of thousands of lakes and rivers throughout the world are drying out now due to global warming and glaciers melting. It is thus only a matter of time before Hong Kong will be affected by the Dong River drying out as well. Knowing this, it would be best if we adopt the lifestyle that will restore the stability of our environment and benefit all beings in the world, which surely is a compassionate way of life, beginning with a vegan diet, no animal products. So please, Chef, join this noble cause and share it with others, especially through your work. There are so many meat substitutes available today. We just cook the same as we cook meat, except we replace that piece of meat with a piece of vegan protein, which has more nutrition. First-hand protein instead of second-hand through the animals. So I'm sure you could adapt your delicious dishes to be vegan. If you need any additional information, you can obtain it freely from suprememastertv.com/VEG, or ask any of our association members to help you. They'll be willing to serve you anytime. Yes, and then you would be contributing to the real solution. In fact, the only one that will really work at this time to save our world and save 70% of drinking water for Hong Kong. Without water, where would we be? So thank you for your important questions, and thank you for being a good chef.
Thank you, Master. Thank you, Mr. Chen.
I wish you all the best.
And now we have Mr. Peter Lloyd, who is a vegan and is also editor of Positive News and Holistic Asia.
I heard of him. Welcome, Mr. Loy. Good day, sir.
Good day. The question is, how can we inspire hope and joy through ecological activism? I guess what I'm trying to dig deeper to is, how do we make this longer term commitment? I can make the choice as an individual, but how do I convey that to other people? So it's sort of a deeper look at this cultural change of going vegetarian. Thank you.
Yeah, Mr. Loy, it's understandable that you are concerned like that. It's kind of new, huh? This vegan trend is new to many people, even government officials as well. So we have to just do what we can. You may copy many of the information concerning the harmful effects of the meat diet and the benefits of the vegan diet, and copy the info, print them out, and send them, or send them through email to whoever you know, or to the government, to the organizations, to the farmers, etc. But I'm so happy, by the way, to see that you are already a compassionate example. Yes, that you are vegan. It's so not easy for Westerners even, who are so used to being raised as a child, believing in animal people protein. It's so not very easy for you. I'm very proud of you and very impressed. And that you are a part of a positive news media even, that impresses me even more. That's wonderful. Please continue your job. God bless you. As for how to inspire hope and joy through your activism for the environment, well, as I have said, I understand that a lot of the ecological environmental news today is not very good due to the effects of global warming. We hear about glaciers melting, water becoming more scarce, rising food shortages, rising food prices with over 1 billion people going hungry every day, animal people becoming extinct, and many species gone forever, and so on and so forth. It can seem overwhelming, especially if we think that we are only one person and the problems are so vast. But be assured, Mr. Loy, that even though our time is running out, we do still have time to save this beautiful planet and restore it to original splendor, or even more so, if all people turn to the vegan diet. You embody the very solution already that is needed for our world. As it has already been mentioned, recent research shows that 60% of the emissions that are hitting the planet come from the animal people raising industry. Not 18%, huh? 80% was the underestimated, the initial estimate from the UN only. Right now, the evidence, the data shows that livestock industry produces 60% plus. I'm sure there is more, but this is kind of conservative report. That 60% greenhouse gas emissions, which heat up our planet, which put our lives in danger, which put our world into the perilous situation of mass extinction, is from this animal raising industry. Please tell everybody this, whoever you can. 60%. Can you imagine? If we stop meat industry, 60% of the heating factor is gone. And then if we turn to organic vegan diet, then 40 more % plus of CO2 will be absorbed immediately from the atmosphere by the organic vegan planting method. You see what I mean? So we'll be smiling. Just a small little change. I don't know how difficult can it be to replace a piece of meat with a piece of tofu or a piece of vegetable protein. It looks the same, it tastes even better, more healthy, cheaper in every way. Good for your health. So please just spread this info through your media. The solution is at hand for each and every one of us, which is simply to forego animal products and become vegan. One small change. It's no big deal. As I have mentioned many times before, this is not a good thing to say, but I have to make a comparison. If we accuse people of drugs, of alcohol, tobacco addiction, that they could not change, they could not quit, we have to accuse ourselves first. Because drugs, tobacco, alcohol, there is no other thing to replace them for what they are. I don't mean they're good, but there are no other to replacements for the alcohol, the tobacco, or a drug addict person. Anyone who is addicted to these three substances, drug, alcohol, and tobacco, they cannot find any other substance to substitute it. So it's difficult for them to quit. And these substances are more difficult to quit. And we could even quit meat, which is replaceable by many other better things. Tastes better, cheaper, good for health, save the planet. If we could not even quit that piece of meat, then we cannot accuse the drug, alcohol, or the tobacco addicted people. If we want to make drugs, alcohol, and tobacco all illegal or limit their production and sales, then we have to start with meat and right now, because it's even worse than all of them, all of the other three. I'm sorry to say, if I offend anyone, I sincerely apologize. But my lifestyle is to tell the truth at all costs. Now, even if the guy who drinks alcohol, maybe he harmed himself, he caused his family trouble, he cost some tax money for hospitalization, he might even, the worst scenario, kill somebody on the street by drunk driving. Okay, that affects a small group of people. And it's the same with drugs, the same with tobacco, cigarettes, affect a small group of people. But the meat diet affects the whole world, affects the whole planet. It's killing our lives, it's killing the planet, and it's leading the planet into total destruction if we don't stop. Do I go too far, Mr. Loy? It's okay with you?
It's good.
Thank you, Master. And it is really an inspiration answer for us to know how dangerous it is to take meat.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Loy.
It is.
Thank you very much.
It's dangerous to take meat. More than drugs, more than alcohol, more than cigarettes. That's why I put meat as number one killer and the other three later on. We have many more things we have to tackle, of course, but these four are the worst killers of all. And if we want to save our lives and the planet, we have to clean up these substances.
Thank you, Master.
Thank you also.
Thank you, Master. Our next honorable guest is Miss Natalie Wong, a primary school teacher.
Welcome.
青海無上師你好啊！
你好。
我想問下咧，而家咧好多嘅蔬菜同埋水果入邊咧，佢都加入咗一啲嘅動物嘅基因入去，咁就可以幫助佢哋啲農民就容易啲咧就去種佢哋啦，因為佢哋可以抵禦一啲嘅昆蟲啦，或者係天氣嘅影響。咁我想問下呢一種嘅蔬果俾啲素食者進食咗之後咧，會有啲咩影響？
You mean the GMO, the genetically modified food?
Yes, Master.
Okay, understand. Yeah, this is not too good, is it?
Thank you for your thoughtful question and your concern. You are right. There is a very direct connection between meat consumption and swine flu as well, and most other human diseases. And the same if we put animal people in our vegetable products, it will affect us in many ways. I think we should not mess with the nature's law of karma, because every action brings an equal reaction. This means that if we bring no harm to other beings, in this case being vegan, then no harm will come to us. But if we kill, we will be killed. But the thing is, nowadays, many people try to do this so-called genetically modified food. So sometimes we eat vegan food and we don't even know that there are animal, people substances in it. And does it affect us? Yeah, it does.
Yes.
Yeah. If that's what you mean, it does affect us. Not just from physical perspective, but also spiritual as well, scientifically speaking. Meat is more and more being linked to diseases of all kinds, with cholesterol, obesity, heart disease, and strokes. Meat consumption has now been linked to more than one kind of cancer, and even has been shown to directly cause cancers, just like bowel cancer, etc. So if we put meat or animals substances into vegetables, then we will also have similar effects, more or less. I think we should not mess with nature and play God. Whatever nature has already offered to us, that is good enough. We should just be thankful and keep it that way. Because if we mess it up, we will probably inherit more than we bargained for. There might be more incurable diseases that come from GMOs that we don't even know will happen yet. Right now, even if we just eat the normal meat, and we have so many incurable diseases already, if we mix it with vegetables, maybe we will have more incurable diseases and more strange diseases that we don't even know how to deal with in the future. So it's better to have the organic vegan farming method. Thank you.
Thank you, Master. Thank you for your advice. And thank you, Natalie.
Thank you.
And now we have another guest, Mr. Musa Isa. He is also a vegetarian and is the managing director and executive chef of Live Organic Vegetarian Cafe in Hong Kong.
Hello.
Hello there.
Supreme Master, I have a simple question. If feeding and saving the planet, if veganism is the solution, then how can we help make going veg and being vegan the next big trend?
Good question. Good question. Yeah, that is our concern right now, Mr. Aolisa. A nice name. And you're good looking too, being a vegetarian and all. See?
Thanks, I appreciate that.
You see, look at him, up to now, many vegan people have stood up and asked questions. You see how tall, big, healthy, handsome they are? Have you? Yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Good. Good. Can you stand up again and have a look around? Do everything to advertise. That's what you wanted. You asked me a question, how to advertise it, and you are the answer too. Okay, you're part of the answer. Now, I'm very happy with your positive approach. I'm proud of you. And thank you for being the big trend yourself. You are right. The solution to feeding and saving the planet is veganism. Now, in terms of saving the planet, I have mentioned already many times the greenhouse gas emissions from the livestock industry, which are the primary cause of global warming. So if everyone in the world puts down the animal people products, we will immediately have a cooler planet. Not only that, we will also have greater intelligence and better health and creativity available to create more green technologies and other things that bring ease and comfort to humans and enhance our planet. And to feed the planet, vegan is also the answer because our food supply goes so much farther if it's distributed directly to people instead of going through animal people first. So please tell everybody this. Put up posters in your cafe, send emails on the internet to explain all this to people. This is not depriving the animals either. Without livestock raising, there will be fewer cattle, fewer pigs and goats, sheep and chickens. But the ones that are alive will have quality lives, quality treatment, and will be valued rather than eaten. The male chicks will be able to live instead of being killed because they don't lay eggs. And the hen people won't be mistreated with practices like debeaking, which does happen even with the so-called free-range birds. Their beaks are cruelly cut off, leaving the young chicks in extreme pain that you wish you don't ever have on yourself. That has been scientifically proven even, based on the type of tissue that is cut. After debeaking, the birds are unable to feed properly, much less clean themselves, meaning they cannot preen themselves or engage in other natural foraging activities. A vegan world would free all birds from such senseless cruelty. And if we are not drinking milk, the cow people will be able to raise their babies rather than losing the babies when they are born, with the mother painfully hooked up to a machine every day for her milk to be taken away for humans to drink until she doesn't produce enough anymore. Then she will be murdered for meat. So, Chef Alisa, to make being vegan the next big trend, we can spread this message in different ways, in all ways possible. We have Supreme Master TV, whose vegan programs and recipes you could freely use also. I'm sure you have many already, in case you want some more exotic recipes from different countries. And you can use them freely and distribute them. Yes, and they are available freely at no cost at suprememastertv.com/VEG. Or you can log on to any of our websites or ask our association members to help you find it or download it for you. You could even broadcast the channel in your cafe. You can offer cooking classes as well, or ask our members to help you to offer cooking classes free of charge anytime. They'll be willing to do it. For a farther reaching effect, you can contact government officials by writing and letting them know the facts about this dire global situation, with all the information available on our website for you to download and copy and send. Along with your knowledge of a solution, you can circulate petitions to gather more support as well as distribute flyers so that more and more people are informed in your coffee shop or anytime you like, and or through the internet. And can also remind them to make the choice towards the life and planet-saving vegan diet. These are just some of the ways. We would be honored if you join in this noble mission, Chef Alisa. Heaven bless your noble heart and efforts. Wishing you success, big success.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Master. Let's make vegan our next big trend. Thank you very much, Mr. Isa.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Master, our next honorable guest is Miss Hao Yuan Li, who is a vegetarian and a Chinese language teacher.
Wow, so many vegetarians today. I'm happy.
师傅你好，
你好，
你好，师傅。无上市电视台最近播放《食气食果》等一系列专辑，让我们对人的意志力和耐力有了新的认识。我们靠着对上帝的信心，我们的肉体可以不依靠食物，更不需要杀生来维持。全球暖化已经造成了世界各地的极端天气，粮食危机也越来越严重。现在是不是合适的时候试着去食气食水呢？恳请师父提供建议。
好，你好，你好啊，
你好，师父。
谢谢好的问题啊。 好的问题耶。
谢谢师傅。
Thanks for bringing this interesting subject up. Your question about these exceptional personages are some holy people. Yeah, the fruitarians, solarians, breatharians, watarians, and so on, meaning the people who do not require much to live in the physical body. Sometimes just a little fruit, or sometimes a little water, or sometimes nothing, just the air or the love of God. Okay, so now to respond to your question about whether we should all begin such a practice as eating air. Breatharian meaning eating air to live. That is not really necessary yet. Besides, I don't think anybody would like to listen to me sitting here telling them, please don't eat anything anymore from today, just take air. I think they will not like to hear that. You see, we show all kinds of possibilities on Supreme Master television. Sometimes I see something interesting, so I advise them to please show it to other people for knowledge, to widen our horizon of knowing different things. And then maybe we would like to make different choices accordingly. But I would not advise all the people to be breatharian, meaning eating air to live. Because first of all, they are not even familiar with the vegetarian or vegan diet yet. It's so difficult already to tell them to eat vegetables and to eat vegetable protein even, which is healthier, happier, cheaper, and good for the planet. It's still so not easy to tell them already. Now, if you tell me to advise them to be just eating air to live, I think I'll be out of here in 2 seconds. So let's be more lenient, more practical. Take it slowly, one step at a time. Now, if you are vegan, I'm already very, very grateful. The whole planet will be thankful to you already. I would not advise all the people to be breatharian, meaning eating air to live. Because first of all, they are not even familiar with the vegetarian or vegan diet yet. It's so difficult already to tell them to eat vegetables and to eat vegetable protein even, which is healthier, happier, cheaper, and good for the planet. It's still so not easy to tell them already. Now, if you tell me to advise them to be just eating air to live, I think I'll be out of here in 2 seconds. So let's be more lenient, more practical. You know, take it slowly, one step at a time. You see? Now, if you are vegan, I'm already very, very grateful. The whole planet will be thankful to you already. Because we can't just be breatharian overnight like this. Yes? We don't even have time to practice that so quick. And then with sort of expert guidance, yes? Have to have expert guidance to be safe, okay? If just overnight or over a few days you turn into breatharian, then maybe you won't be able to survive. Yeah, it needs strong willpower. Yes, strong willpower, expert guidance, and great motivation behind your decision to become a breatharian. Because we humans have been used to eating to survive. We also have been used to the pleasure of putting something into our palate. You see, when the baby was born, the first thing they do is use their mouth to taste everything, yeah, to get to know things around them. Yes, and then slowly the parents give them food and acquaint them with the pleasure of eating. So overnight, or even over months or years, it's not easy for human beings to immediately quit this pleasure. Not just because of survival only, but the pleasure of eating. That's the problem, okay? Now, as I mentioned earlier, the organic vegan diet is the key to cooling the planet enough so that we can go forward as a global society, and enough so that we can buy time to invent more green technology to make our life comfortable and to grow more abundant food, safe food, and a happy life for everybody. Yes? But of course, if you want to explore one of these food alternatives, I mean non-food alternatives, like a breatharian, then please do find some expert to guide you, okay? And strictly adhere to the guidance. Otherwise, like everything else in life, if we don't do it consensuously, we might have backfire and endanger ourselves, yes, or others. Now, good luck and much joy to you in experimenting with different ways of life. We only put it on television so that people have more knowledge about different things that maybe they have not encountered before, or maybe they have not thought about it before. You understand? Yeah? Some people don't know that breatharians exist, but they do exist. A lot of them, and they're still alive even. Not like centuries ago, or some holy nun in the monastery, or some holy monk who do retreat in a remote area, or something, but some living, breathing, walking, birdies next door. Yeah, I mean, yes, they are practical people. You see, these are people just for us to study, yes, to know that there are such things that exist beyond our physical day-to-day life habits. I just show that so that people know that even without food, we could survive if we want to. Not to talk about changing a piece of meat into a piece of tofu or a piece of gluten vegetable hamburger. But we don't have to go to the extreme. We don't have to be breatharian. For the majority of people, they don't have to.
Thank you, Master, for your clear guidance on this topic. Thank you, Ms. Hao.
And now we have our last questions coming from Mr. Cho Henry Hong Hui, who is a veteran translator specialized in lip sync translation.
Good afternoon, Supreme Master. I'm glad to be here today to share this message of global warming warning. Now, individuals like every one of us here are weak. The enterprise takes a much stronger position. Now, under these circumstances, how can we make people around the world be aware of this chaotic change in climate and take action to work together to revert this situation? Thank you.
Hello, Mr. Cho. Yes, thanks for being here. Thanks for being concerned and taking your time to come and share your worry with us. You look good. How do we make other people aware of this situation, huh? Yes. I think what we can do to help reverse global warming is by many kinds of activities besides word of mouth to spread the needed message. First of all, Mr. Cho, please become vegan yourself. Or if you are already, thank you. As I have described previously, this is the simplest and most effective way to stabilize the planet and to cool down the climate change. And that way, you have the solution with you already. And then you can, by example, spread the news to everyone around. You are part of the solution and are thus even more effective in helping others to change. You can then gather together with those who feel as you do, same-minded, and can reach even more people that way. I hope the government will help us, but if not, we people have to do it. We have to do it as individuals. For example, you can distribute materials such as the SOS flyers that are freely available through suprememastertv.com. If you need help with anything like this, please let our association members know, and someone will assist you gladly. Other ways, you can help to raise awareness of the planet's perilous state, include conferences such as the one we are doing today, as well as contacting the media and the government, asking them to help you change, which are ideal because of their more far-reaching influence and power. But sometimes we must also help them understand the true situation so they can report and pass measures more urgently, since we don't have much time. I wrote to many government agency officials and leaders of the state. Some of them are not even aware of such a dire situation. Yes? You'll be surprised. Because they put priority elsewhere and they busy themselves with other state affairs. So the one thing to remember, Mr. Cho, is that the people who do not appear to be acting in the best interest of the planet right now may simply be because they are unaware. So we have to inform them of how quickly we need to act and to let them know the most effective way to take action. People are often open to change once they understand. But this is a good time to introspect and realize the value of our relationships with humans and other beings. As part of this realization, we should also repent and request forgiveness for causing suffering for the earth and her inhabitants. We request the help of heaven to help awaken humanity in time to save the planet, to help humanity to understand that compassion is the only way to save the planet. Compassion in action. No killing of any kind. Live and let live. Leave the animal people alone. Love them, protect them. Don't eat them. We also should convey our gratitude for all the love in our lives. We should thank God and thank heaven and thank the people who have cared for us and thank our animal people, our world co-citizens, for their pure love and invisible helping and blessing through their presence as well. Because love is really the basis for all of this. Compassion is the answer. If everyone shows our love for all beings through the vegan diet, we can even save an entire world. Thank you again for your efforts, Mr. Cho. God bless you.
Thank you, Master, for reminding us to act quickly. And thank you, Mr. Cho, Henry, for this essential question. Thank you very much.
Maybe one day we not only realize that we can survive on a vegan diet, but we will even realize that we don't even need food at all. As the whole planet population, we will have more time to create many things instead of occupying ourselves with planting, cultivating, eating, cooking. Maybe one day our planet will evolve in such a stage as Ms. Yuen Ha has asked, whether or not we should all turn into breatharians. Maybe that day will come, Ms. Yuen Ha? Yeah, maybe that day will come. But first we begin with vegan, huh? Yes, one step at a time. And even if we don't all turn all into breatharians, vegan is okay. Vegan is very okay already. A very happy lifestyle and very pleasing to heaven. Remember in the Bible, if you are Catholic, God said that He has made all the fruits, the herbs in the field that are pleasant to the eyes and good to the taste. That shall be our food. So if God allows us to eat that, then we could be vegan. Yeah, just leave the animal people alone. That's all we have to do. A small change. Instead of animal people. Meat, we throw a piece of tofu in the pan. Okay, simple, healthy, happy. Thank you, all of you. Can we become vegan today? Yes or no?
Yes.
Wow, wonderful. Yes. God bless you so. God bless you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, all the good people.
Thank you, Master.
Thank you, Master.
And thank you for all the questions, good questions
Yes.
from all our guests.
Very good.
And that shows your deep concern about the global warming. And this is really thank from our hearts. Thank you very much.
Thank you
Supreme
too.
Master Ching Hai, for your enlightening answers.
Supreme Master Ching Hai, vegan, is a world-renowned spiritual teacher, humanitarian, and artist. To learn more about her compassionate life and teachings, please visit suprememastertv.com/master.
Good afternoon. Can you briefly introduce yourself to our viewers?
Yeah, my name is Peter Lloyd. I'm the editor of two magazines here in Hong Kong. Positive News, which is a print social green peace activist magazine, and Holistic Asia, an online spiritual resource. And I'm a vegan for 22 years, actually. So I love being a vegan. I like the ethos of it. I like the taste. I like not killing animals. So there are many reasons why I am a vegan. Yeah, global warming is just the latest. Help, shall we say.
After the conference, can you tell us more about the livestock industry and the connection to global warming? We know it's one of the biggest contributor to the global warming. Can you tell us your opinion on this?
Well, I'm sure it's true. I lived on a farm once, and actually made me vegan because I didn't know that if you drink milk, you're killing cows, until I lived on the farm. I grew up in a flat in Hong Kong, and then I discovered that in order to produce milk, all the boy cows are killed. Bam. At 6 months normally, and that's called veal in English. Now I see the reason to be vegan rather than just vegetarian.
Actually, you asked a question during the conference.
Yeah.
How do you feel? The answers by our master, Supreme Master Ching Hai.
But I enjoyed asking it, and I enjoyed listening to how she communicated and the passion. I mean, my question was, how do you find inspiration and joy in ecological activism? Because it's very difficult. Like, none of my family are vegetarian, and you don't want to lecture people, and at the same time you don't want to be passive when there's something terrible happening. So how do you balance this out? And that was sort of what I was asking. And it's always uncomfortable for someone to have to bring up facts that are inconvenient. And I admired the fact that she is standing strongly for that. I think that's very brave. Yeah.
Can you help make a call for helping the world?
Yes. Be veg, go green, save the planet. You know it's the right thing.
請你介紹你自己啊。我叫黃家歡，咁今年15歲，讀緊中學。今日參加完呢個視像會議咧，你對全球暖化嚇，你都知道係因為畜牧業嘅形成啦嚇，你會唔會喺呢方面知道更多咁？我其實本身都知畜牧業係造成全球暖化嘅主要原因啦。咁我今次參加完呢個視像會議，就對呢個全球暖化同埋各行各業關於肉食嘅行業咧認識更多咯。咁你會唔會願意改變你嘅飲食習慣，變為全素嚇？因為呢個係一個最有效去遏止全球暖化嘅解決嘅方案。我而家都係 vegetarian 啦，咁我就諗住盡量去將自己變成一個 vegan， 咁對環境做出一份貢獻咯。多謝你對青海無上師嘅印象。我覺得佢好慈祥啦，同埋佢都好關心啲狗仔啊咩。我本身都係好中意寵物啦，咁之後我就覺得佢好有愛心咯，對啲動物都好好咯。多謝你。我呼籲大家素食環保救地球，耶！
The most powerful daily prayer for any time and before meditation, which is the order from God, and Supreme Master Ching Hai shares with us by His blessed grace.
We humbly worship, praise, thank, obey, and love God Almighty, the Most High, the greatest, for world vegan, world peace, and our soul liberation. We thank, love, praise the only Son of God, who is the ultimate Master for our salvation. We follow the teaching of all the saints and sages. We thank, love, and praise them, who are the representatives of God for our spiritual elevation.
Tomorrow on Words of Wisdom.
38% of the world's grain is fed to animals. Save the human.
1.1 billion
people in the world do not have access to clean water.
While 20,000 liters is used for just 1 pound of beef. Save the human.
Change your diet.
Don't change the climate. Change your diet. Save the human.
We are all connected. Our planet reflects it. We must respect it and never neglect it.
All information concerning the scientific evidence of climate change and its solution is in Supreme Master Ching Hai's book, From Crisis to Peace, free for download at crisistopeace.org.
I definitely enjoy feeling more energetic on a plant-based diet than ever before, and am now in better shape physically than I've ever been. Katya Gorbacheva, vegan.
Cheerful viewers, thank you for being with us today for Words of Wisdom. May your steps tread lightly on the earth. May your actions inspire sustainability. And may your hearts overflow with kindness for all beings.
Be vegan. Make peace. Do good deeds. Hell not reach.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule and suprememastertv.com/WOW.
Chương trình của chúng tôi cung ứng nhiều ngôn ngữ. Xin xem suprememastertv.com/schedule và suprememastertv.com/WOW.
Be sure to follow us on our socials: YouTube, Facebook, Getter, Instagram, LinkedIn, Nico, Pinterest, Reddit, Substack, Telegram, TikTok, Truth Social, Tumblr, VK, and X, previously known as Twitter, in multiple languages by searching Supreme Master TV.